Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CT Cinema Retro Reviews, where we review old movies because a lot of movies I didn't get a chance to see. There's a lot going on in the 90s, okay? And now I have the opportunity to have my own show and review movies. Now, in the meantime, I want to thank everybody on Team CT who has been showing love to the pod, man. Yes. I've been seeing so many comments. I've been seeing the shares. I've been seeing so much love. Thank you for the super chats. The super chats are open. Let me tell you something. I got some updates for you. Hey. The super chats from last month's of shows have paid for the studio for the month of July. Yeah,
that deserves
so much. You know what I mean? We ain't making no bread yet.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the Uber so far.
Hey, so listen, I'll make do. I'll walk next time.
You know, in the meantime, the super chats are open. Please continue to donate and show love and support because this show is paid for by viewers like you, PBS style. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my sidekick. This guy is the Robin to my Batman, the Jimmy Olsen to my Superman. He is somebody with the greatest energy and heart in the game because they keep destroying his hair and he keep a smile on his face. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Young, how are you, man?
What up? What's up, CT, man?
You good?
Oh, dude, I am embracing the struggle, my brother. I'm embracing it. It's real. Yeah, you know?
You're doing your thing out here, boy.
Listen, I will tell you, all the comments about my hair have been so wild. But I love it, though. I love it. But here's what I will say real quick.
Go ahead, say it.
What I will say is, you know, I would never want it to be said that Mayor Young would ignore the will of the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I will say is this. If the people really do dislike it that much.
They hate it a lot.
Listen, if they dislike it that much, I would consider changing it.
Oh, what?
I would consider changing it.
Okay.
But what I would need is to know that they really don't want this hairstyle. They want something new.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm like, dude, maybe if you all showed your support for the show and like we got to a certain threshold, I would think like, you know, I would like definitely grow it out. And even if we get to another particular different threshold, I might even let them like pick whatever the new style is.
I love that. Let me add this for those of you guys who are new here and people who are returning. $10 super chats, your comments go on the screen and we thank you wholeheartedly. $20 or more, what we do is we will recite our favorite movie quotes and movie moments from any type of movie and hope you guys catch in on you might get a chance to guess it. And for $40 or more, these are outrageous amounts. Outrageous amounts, we will give you our own thank you speech award style. You get to choose the award style. You give it a super chat. Do you want Source? You want BET? You want Emmys, MTV Movie Awards, VH, whatever you want, okay? It's up to you. Now, with that said, I would like to introduce our very special guest. Before I introduce my special guest, I want to introduce sidekick number 2. You understand? This guy is one of my greatest friends. They always say best when you talk about friends. They're like, oh, this is one of my best friends. This is one of my greatest friends. That's better than best. One of my greatest friends, one of the funniest people of all time. He is a producer, he's a director, he's a writer, he's all these things. Ladies and gentlemen, Dion Lack. How are you, Dion Lack?
Very well. Prayer hands. Prayer hands. Come on. I'm glad to be here, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Come on, brother.
Thank you for thinking of me, man. Yeah, absolutely.
That intro caught you off guard, didn't it?
No.
Oh, did it?
I knew it was coming. It's given. No, it was given. You know, you say it all the time, so I believe it now.
Did you say it's given?
I was gonna let it slide. I was gonna say,
boy, you out of control.
Try it. And
is
given.
That
is what he said.
Let me go down. He's one of my good friends. Can't be talking like that and get greatest. Ladies and gentlemen.
No, it was mostly like I'm receiving it. I didn't mean to say giving.
Even worse.
It's the intro for him.
Just saying he's receiving.
Pause.
It's this. My special guest. This guy is family, man. This dude is a legitimate movie star. This guy is a television star. He's a star overall. He is also one of the stars of the long-running CW hit show, All American. He plays Preach. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend and yours, Kareem Grimes.
Hey,
what's up, Kareem?
Hey, brother. You know, I'm happy to be here, first and foremost.
I love it.
It's like 3 individuals that I know.
Yeah.
This is like, I just met him. Like,
Shooting his shit.
like there's some history here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm happy.
Barbershop.
To be here, man.
That's
Yeah,
right,
barbershop.
right.
Absolutely.
Speaking of history here,
Yeah.
the movie that we are reviewing today
Mm.
is Boys in the Hood.
Mm.
Right.
Now, as you guys know, I hit each one of my special guests and I say, hey, what are your top 5 favorite movies of all time? He tells me a list. And of the list, I see 2 movies that I'm like, I really want to do these 2 movies. One was Snatch,
Yes.
which I love.
Mhm.
And the other is Boys in the Hood. And I
Mhm.
was like, I've never seen it from the beginning, bro.
Wow.
Never. I've never seen Boys in the Hood from the beginning. I
Yeah.
only saw it on TV when Ice Cube was walking away
Yeah.
and he faded away.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what's this about? Right?
Right.
That was your intro.
That's my intro to it.
That's wild.
I said, we got to review this movie. Lawrence,
Yeah.
if you'd be so kind as to tell us what this film is about.
Indeed. So, Boys in the Hood is basically about a group of young men trying to become men in South Central LA. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really the long and the short of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, let's give a round of applause for the late, great John Singleton.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely, man.
absolutely. man.
Legendary dude.
For sure.
Yeah.
Let me just say this.
Mhm.
The movie starts out. It's these kids
Mhm.
Yeah.
walking down the street.
Mhm.
What I'm saying, you want to see something?
Mhm.
Right.
And the kids is like, what? And he says, I'm not telling you till y'all say yes. That's the first problem. Right?
Mhm.
Okay? This is how childhood trauma starts.
Yeah.
You don't know what he about to show you,
Right,
but apparently
right.
you just gonna say yes.
Yeah.
They go, and when they going down the street, they
Mhm.
see a crime scene,
Yeah.
Mhm.
just brain splatter in the concrete,
Mhm.
and then fast forward even more. Trey, who's our lead character, gets
Mhm.
into a fight at school,
Mhm.
comes home to his mother, who's Angela Bassett.
Mhm.
Right.
Angela Bassett says, let me pull out the contract. You said,
Yeah.
if you did
You did
anything
anything
wrong,
wrong,
you're going to
yeah.
live with your daddy. That's your
Yeah.
signature, right?
Yeah.
And he looked mad, like, I don't want to go live with
Yeah,
him. 'Cause
yeah.
nobody want to live with their
Yeah.
daddy. Let me just be honest.
Right.
That's pretty true. Don't nobody want to live with their daddy.
Yeah.
Not if you live with your mama first.
Right,
If you
right,
right. If you live with your mama
Right.
first, you got it good.
Right.
Boy.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
nurturing.
Right.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
asking you how your day was.
Yeah.
Your daddy's just like, hey,
Yeah.
go
Very
ahead, cut that
stern.
grass. You're like,
Yeah.
The vibe's about
Yeah.
to change.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He moves in with his father.
You skipped a lot.
Is played by Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, when
Yeah.
I saw that this is the father, I said, oh, this is the first time I've seen Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne on screen since
Mhm.
What's Love Got to Do with It,
Mhm.
right? Angela Bassett also showed me something in that scene. She can't drive. She hit the curb real quick. I don't know if y'all noticed that.
Curb
I like-
rash.
You can't even act like you can
Yeah,
drive.
yeah.
That's what shocked me.
Mhm.
Kareem, what is one of your favorite scenes from this movie? And
Oh,
just give us, because
man.
we're gonna go through it. Give us one of your favorite scenes.
I mean, to be honest, man, I'm just gonna say it was my scene. That was how
Now
I.
stop. You can't.
Yeah. He
No,
You
definitely
can't do
fast
that, bro.
forward.
Oh, we still young. No.
Kareem,
Oh, just throughout the whole film.
what? Yes.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. When Furious Styles
Yes.
is talking about gentrification.
Yeah.
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 He talks about gentrification in deeper in the hood.
Deeper in the hood.
Yes.
And he's giving that whole speech.
Yeah.
And the late great Whitman Mayo
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
was like, yeah, y'all hear that?
Right.
Y'all
'Cause
hear
it's
that? He
young.
talking
Right.
to y'all.
It's y'all.
It's y'all.
Right.
He
That's
talking
what
to y'all.
that's what he
Arrogance.
does. It's like his
The
He talking to
arrogance.
y'all.
Well, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
like,
get
talking in the
and the
abstract.
thing
They
is,
right here.
yeah,
Right here.
and the thing is how it resonates today.
100%.
Like
Mhm.
you can watch it right now and be like,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
going on right
Yeah.
now.
Right now.
In
We didn't
every
learn nothing.
city.
Yes.
Didn't learn
That's-
nothing.
Nothing. And this was
Yep.
over 30
30
years ago.
yes.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, speaking of years, it's been some years I've seen some super chats. Ladies and gentlemen, need to see the super chats on the screen. All right. $10 or more super chat goes on the
Yeah.
screen. We thank you for every amount. Let me
Absolutely.
say that right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
$10 or more goes on the screen. $20 or more, we give you our favorite movie quotes and moments.
Mhm.
And $40 or more, these are outrageous amounts, we give you our own award style speech just for you, for your dedication and your support. Now, I'm watching the movie. This is
Mhm.
before they become adults.
Mhm.
All right. I see the character who plays Darren. I'm gonna call him Darren the whole time. This is Ice Cube's character. Okay? Because everybody else call him something else. I call him Darren. That's what his
Not
name
calling no
is. Calling him Darren.
Not calling no boy.
Now, when I see Darren
Mhm.
get whisked away to juvenile hall,
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
I see a kid come up with a Jerry curl. Now, when I see the Jerry curl, I say, nah. I pause the movie. And the kid with the Jerry curl was Kareem Grimes.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
I thought that's why you picked the movie.
No, that's what's even crazier
That's
about your ego,
hilarious.
that you picked this movie and you're in this movie.
Yeah. Can you imagine how many times he watched it as a
This is-
kid?
bro,
I get why it's his favorite movie.
The height of self-promotion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's so
mad at it. I'm gonna tell you why I'm shocked.
Mhm.
If you ever get to meet Kareem Grimes, first of all, it's an honor and a pleasure if you get a chance to meet him. He's
Yes.
one of the most humble people,
100%.
one of the kindest people. Until I saw you in this movie, I say one of your favorites is a movie you in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And right up under that is Jarhead, and then All American.
Favorite TV show right there is All American.
That would have been
The Mule.
Yo,
That's crazy.
we got to do the Mule at some point, and I'm gonna bring
for
you
sure,
that.
for sure.
So I'm watching the movie now. Fast forward 7 years later, we see Lawrence Fishburne's. Lawrence Fishburne's
Mhm.
Influence on his son, because if you see at the beginning of the movie, Trey was kind of, you didn't think this was going to be Trey. Now you thought he would have been Darren.
Mhm.
I actually thought the kid he fought in school was a young Ice Cube.
Yeah, no.
But now with his dad, he's straight up. He's on straight and narrow. He's got his school together.
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
upright. Darren comes back from, they say prison, but we know it's still juvenile hall
Yeah,
because they're
right.
still teenagers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Why wasn't he in school, by the way? Did you ever think about that?
Maybe he just
like
dropped
really
out.
in school.
Yeah.
Dropped out.
He just got back.
He just got back. But I think what it is too is it's that you're seeing a South Central tale.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You have young kids who get in juvenile hall,
Yeah.
and then it is consistent as far as they're in and out of the system.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
true.
Also, too, I wouldn't be so convinced that he went to juvenile hall. Like, they were sending us to jail for real.
Wow.
Like, back in the day. Like, you
What do
know.
you mean by
I mean,
us?
well, not even back in the day. They do it today still. But I'm saying this fool was like, you know, he was probably committing crimes.
Yeah.
Throughout this whole time.
Throughout the
Like, when
teenagers,
you're
yeah.
16, 17, you
For
couldn't
sure.
go to prison.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Because he was definitely doing drugs, right? Selling drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he already had a crew of thugs
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
waiting for him
sure.
to come out.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Who did get caught?
Right.
Yeah.
You said who didn't get
Right.
caught?
Niggas with wheelchairs.
Right.
Had a nigga with the pacifier in his mouth.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how wild you are with the mouth. I say, hey
Yeah.
man, no
No
curse
good
words,
words.
no
I know.
N words. You done dropped
I did.
both of them.
I
Right?
did. I did.
Jesus, you're
I
a
did.
father, bro.
Yeah.
How do you not know how to knock up?
You're a father. You're a
Get
father.
loose.
That
Get-
is
Get loose
great.
out here. Mhm.
That's good.
Anyway, so now we see adult Ice Cube. We see Cuba Gooding junior
Mhm.
We see, they also never told us what they went to juvenile hall the first time for.
Right.
It was for stealing.
Yeah,
from the
Yeah.
store.
From the store.
That they didn't show us in the scene.
They didn't
No.
show it to us.
Mm-mm.
He said, remember, they say,
You ain't got no money.
Right.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
give
Going
going
anyway. Right.
Mhm.
to go to juvenile hall for stealing
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
outrageous.
I
bro.
agree.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a thief or anything, but these are children.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Not when they black.
Right.
oh yo,
That part.
Look.
you speaking facts.
Hey.
In the 80s.
In
Right.
the 80s.
Oh man, it was hard, man.
Yeah.
Nia Long is in this movie.
Young Nia. Ooh,
Young
yeah.
Nia Long
Right.
looks
Mhm.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Nia Long with the natural.
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
Also, the chocolate girl from Class Act was in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Doesn't get a lot of. Where
Nah,
is
look.
she? I know you know the
Yeah.
answer to this.
You know what? There was something floating around on
Floating around.
on YouTube.
Mhm.
You know, I think what they did is they had a bunch of people from Boys in the Hood, and they said, "Where are they
Carried
now?"
over.
Mm.
Oh,
They
and
did
where's
one
she
of
now?
those more. She's a mother. Her
Yeah.
daughter is like in her 20s now.
So is she still acting? You think?
No,
No acting.
No.
Man, that hurts, bro.
Yeah.
She
You
was
know, that
fine
Yeah.
too back
Yeah.
then.
It's
Man,
the fact that I don't see
yeah.
any super chats on screen. That kind of hurts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just told you how we got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We making progress.
Yeah.
And y'all are taking us right
It's
back.
the first, brother.
It is the
Rich do.
first. It is
Yeah.
the first.
Rich do.
Yeah.
Also, how did is it? I think it's Sean or Chris that's in the wheelchair.
Yeah, little Chris.
Little Chris. How did he get in the chair, bro?
Yeah.
Like this is what happened. I watched.
You gotta watch the
movie.
series. You gotta watch the Boys in the Hood series.
Honestly, I thought they should make a Boys in the Hood series instead of making a remake of the movie. Make this series and give us all the things that we didn't get a chance
That's
to
not
see
bad.
Work
for
up
10
to it.
episodes,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
But beyond that, I think watching Don't Be a Menace so many times,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
never saw Boys in the Hood.
And you never
Oh,
connected the
that's
two.
I
wild.
was like, man, they this is spot on
Right.
Yeah.
to like the parody. They really watched this film.
100%.
And I saw a couple of things in this movie that made me say, wow. Number one, shout out to Tyra Farrell for playing Darren and Ricky's mother. She
Yeah.
is an amazing
Yeah,
actress.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Fantastic.
She did something in the beginning of the movie that set the tone.
Mhm.
She was very, very hateful towards Darren's character.
Yeah.
And she was very loving towards
Mhm.
Ricky.
Yeah.
And I believe it's because she saw a future in Ricky
Right.
and as her ticket out of the hood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whereas
Mhm.
with Darren, she was like, oh, he ain't gonna amount to nothing. But when
Right.
you're saying he's not gonna amount to nothing,
Right.
he's not going
He's
to
gonna
amount to
believe it.
anything.
Right.
Yeah.
This movie should have been called
Self-fulfilling
Boys Without a Father.
Wow.
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 That's
Yeah.
what's real,
Yeah.
though.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
That is what's
You know,
real.
for the longest, I always thought her,
Yeah.
Tyra, and Tasha Smith were the same person.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can
Did
see
you
why
see
people-
that?
I can see
yeah,
why
because they had
people
the
do
same
that.
sort of acting and,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
loud, and
Yeah.
they was the moms most of the times.
Mhm.
I thought Tasha Smith was the woman from Poetic Justice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Interesting.
The who was the owner the whole
Yeah.
time, and I went back. I was like, this whole time I thought it was her,
Yeah. But
But
she
yeah.
was in Poetic Justice. As
Yep.
as a shop
the owner.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, to add on to that, it literally show you the dynamics of having a father.
yes,
Mhm.
How
in the
important it
house,
is.
how important having a father is.
very
Mhm.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to add this, man, to everybody who's watching. The conversation continues even after the show when we do the after show called the after credits. Post credits is what we call the after show on the Patreon. It is only available on the Patreon. You have even more of your questions asked and answered by Kareem, Grimes, and the rest of us. So patreon.com/CTisDOPE. In the meantime, I want to get the community together even more. I want to plan a big watch party for a movie that we're going to review on a future episode. And that is up to you guys. So join the Patreon and have a community of people that are exactly like you and friends that are even more than you already have. But while we're here, I want to see some super chats on that screen. Yeah, I see the comments coming through.
Yeah,
I want to see
yeah.
them super
Super
chats
chats.
with the comment
There
involved.
it is.
And we got you. Now,
Yeah.
when I look at the movie, man, I can honestly say I blame Furious.
It's
Furious
wild that his name's
Styles.
Furious.
I'm furious about the name. if
I
I'm being
know,
honest.
right? It's so wild.
Furious Styles? That seems like a
Yeah.
villain in an action movie.
Right, right.
100%.
So I
Right.
blame Furious Style for what happened with Darren and with Chris.
Really?
I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
Please.
He
It's
is
a
the only father in the hood.
Come on,
Mhm.
man.
Listen to me. He's the only father in this hood, in this neighborhood with all these lost boys,
Mhm.
right? I can see if you're not going to take care of the kids in the entire neighborhood,
Mhm.
but these are your son's two best friends
Mhm.
directly across the street from your crib.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, my uncle Dave was
Yeah.
a barber, and every time I went to his house, he was always cutting the neighborhood kids. He was
Mhm.
always available for when if they needed advice, or he would tell them, "Hey, don't do this, don't do that," or he see some bad behavior and correct it.
Mhm.
Lawrence Fishburne, I'm just gonna say born. Lawrence Fishburne had the keys to the city because he was teaching his son all these things, taking them fishing. You couldn't have got two more poles and brought these little boys across the street with you to go fishing with your son.
Mhm.
I blame him because a lot of things you have a responsibility as a man, not even just as a black man,
Mhm.
but as a man, when you see kids that don't have what you know that you can help at least introduce into their lives, it's your responsibility.
Mhm.
So instead of just looking by like, hey, don't end up like them.
Mhm.
They're kids. You can help stop this.
Mm.
But he was so much on some, I just need to make sure my son good.
Right.
Where if you living in the hood, anything can happen to all these kids at once.
Mhm.
Mm.
Compared to your
Absolutely.
son isn't shielded. So I blame
Absolutely.
Fury.
But it's also, it's also one of those things of like, you got to extend that olive branch, and if he doesn't accept it, he'd be like, okay, you're too far gone. That's why Ricky was kind of going along with him to do that little mess with him. But I was like, I feel like he shot his shot at him. Like he's too gone. He's going to keep.
You know
selling
why
drugs.
I'm not going to give you that? And I want you to say this.
Mhm.
I'm not going to give you that because he said one time
Mhm.
when he didn't even know them kids like that, hey, y'all want $5 to cut the grass?
Yeah.
Nah, man, I make more money than that working for my brother.
Right,
And he was
right.
like, all right, anyway, let's go fishing. It's like, hey, man, you just gonna shoot the shot once at a child? You could literally be like, hey, we going fishing. Would y'all like to learn how to fish? Y'all ever fished?
Right.
Hey, man, I tell you what, y'all about to get this money raking these leaves. Help my son rake these leaves. And then the son is like, oh, can I get 5? Nah, you live here. Something like that. Anyway, we got a super chat.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on.
Throw it up there. Hey, fam, $10. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Drop it
Man,
on the same.
the super chats coming.
Drop it on the same day that Renner's dude got it quiet. Hey, brother.
Yeah.
Also, to the people in the comments, when you're watching the live premiere of the episode, drop your super thanks. Nothing goes unnoticed. I will make sure that I screenshot it and thank you on the episode. Throw it on the screen, Mark. Cool. Country Mama. Appreciate you, baby girl.
Hey, Country Mama. Appreciate you.
What you about to say, Kareem?
No, I think you answered it. You know, he did say, hey, y'all want to help him?
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, and I think from that point on, and then we have to look at it too, the situation at hand, separated home.
Yes.
Most of the time, we know the father is like, I wouldn't say barely making it, but he's not well off.
Protect my own son.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have, and now I'm left with the responsibility now that I have him full time. It's not a weekend thing.
Right.
Now I got him all the time.
I will say too that, you know, and this is me reading into the movie a little bit, but I do feel like part of it too might be the relationship that he might have with the mom. Because it felt like there was like something going on, like, you know, where she's like, oh, you know, he don't come over and play cards no more or whatnot. You know, it's like, it feels like, like he kind of is like, oh, I don't want to like associate with her that strongly, and I can't be in her kids' lives and then pretend and then not associate with her.
Are you saying that Lawrence Fishburne is their daddy too?
No, I am not saying that. I say he's not trying to become their daddy.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Because looking at that mother, I would also keep a distance because of how she was conducting herself and raising those kids. That's a very dangerous thing. He probably peeped it and was like, I gotta back up. But that doesn't stop you from being like, hey, both y'all, come on, man, we about to.
They could have went fishing.
They could have went fishing.
You're
That's
right
free.
on that.
Also, I'm about to go take him to do some workout stuff. Y'all coming with us or whatever. It's
Would
just
you want to
like,
bring a rotten apple into your little orchard of apples?
Let me answer your question. The rotten apples are already in the orchard because they're his best friends. So whether or not I'm raising my son in this house, they're hanging out with him every day.
Right.
So it's like all the work that I'm doing inside is still getting threatened the next morning. So go ahead.
Yeah, but I think also too, you know, jumping on what you said with the mom, you know, she was like, where your fine ass daddy at?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he was like, I don't
he
know.
definitely clapped back in the day.
I don't need that drama.
I don't need that drama. I'm going to stay away from that situation. And, you know, when you look at it now, from our ages, our prospective ages, and you look at that situation, you be like, as you get older, you're like, I really don't want to deal with too much drama. I'm already dealing with my own situation. I don't know if I have enough bandwidth to deal with all that.
I'll give you that. But it also made me wonder how Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne broke up because they had incredible communication, right? And, you know, as you are a parent, as someone who has children, that communication is so important to have. And a lot of parents don't co-parent well, right? So seeing them be able to communicate and her to even be, oh my goodness, put it on the screen, Mark. There we go. Alejandro, Xander, put your hands together. This is crazy.
Keep it coming, folks. Keep it coming. Thank you so much.
Guy
He said, put it on the screen.
He said,
Guy is the absolute
shut this
best.
down.
Good movie to review. Appreciate you, CT. First of all, before I even continue, I appreciate you, Xander.
Yes.
Hope to see you and the family are good. They are. RIP PMC, but hopefully I'll catch one of your shows if you come to Sacramento. Side note, Red Ranger panel will always be goated in memory. Facts, man. Yo, Power Morphicon is always legendary. Gotta have Walter back on another episode to have some conversation. So here's the question for you, Alejandro. What style of award speech would you like for your thank you? Would you want MTV Movie Awards, VH1 don't have award shows. What's BET, Oscars, Emmys,
Source Awards,
Kids Choice Awards. You tell us what you want, and Kareem is gonna go first with that style.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, looking at this film, bro, I wondered what happened with their relationship, and it also made me wonder, why was Ricky so stupid? Let me elaborate.
That's what's real, though. He made a lot of bad choices.
He was so dumb. It's like, it's one thing for you to be just an athlete and you in a house all the time.
Right.
You ain't reading no book, bro. Ain't nobody encouraging you to do anything. He's super jock. And he was so dumb that it made me annoyed because you can't show all this love to this one kid, but you're not really watering him with anything other than a football.
Right.
Right. So Doughboy is in jail back and forth, but Ricky is at home just getting dumber and dumber.
Yeah.
His girlfriend gets to move in the house. They got a kid in the house.
Crazy.
Go ahead, put it up. Just to see what would happen, let's see y'all do a Tony Award. You remember those 14-year-old back in the day? Absolutely. Come on, Alejandro. I'll never forget you. Give it to us. You're gonna give us the Tony Award speech.
To Alejandro?
Yeah, for the thank you for the super chat.
First, I would like to thank Alejandro for your dedication and support throughout the years of this podcast, and to thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart for all that you do, for what you are, for what you stand for. You as an individual have brought so much light to me and to this podcast, and I want to thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. This is not only my award, this is your award as well. Thank you.
Not playing them off with the music. Not playing them off with the music.
Wrap it up.
Where's that coming from?
Wrap it up.
That's for y'all, Andre.
You played the graduation thing.
The next outrageous super chat award speech comes from Dion Lack. It's gonna be incredible. In your super chat, put the style that you want.
All in one swoop.
So here's the thing, man. He had a kid already. They living in the crib.
Yeah.
What?
I was just thinking about the end. They brought his body back to the house.
Dude.
Bro, so crazy. Don't jump in.
No.
So I'm seeing this whole thing unfold, and now I'm looking at Cuba Gooding Jr. and he's like, yeah, you're gonna let me get them skins. And I'm like, yo, this is getting a little too much.
Yeah.
Until I realized he's a virgin.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you're a virgin, all you thinking about is them skins. He says, I lied to my father for the first time.
Yeah.
I told him that I got some buns
Yeah.
and I lied. And I was so grateful that he lied because I was like, your first outing, you hit her with the raw beans?
Right.
Yeah.
And you ain't heard back from her? I'm watching the movie, my heart beating. I'm like, she might be pregnant, bro. And the grandma ain't say nothing, right? So to find out it was made up was incredible.
Yeah.
But I want to know who that actress is because I would like to follow her work.
Is that what you want to follow?
Yeah.
Her work.
She did a few other projects, but yeah, and that was kind of like the 90s, mid to late 90s, and then that was it.
Speaking of the mid to late 90s, you do this movie, you're a kid. Y'all filmed this in the 90s.
Yeah.
What was your experience like working with John Singleton, bro? And you're a child.
That's wild.
I don't even know you've been in the game this long. I thought you got in the game as like maybe 20. You were a child.
Yeah. I was,
First one, right?
Yeah, 13. I was 13 and we shot that film. And see, back then it took about a year, almost 2 years for films to come out.
Yeah.
So we shot that in 89.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And you couldn't wait for that money to hit when you was in high school.
Well, the thing is that and in high school, I'm telling my friends I'm in a movie.
Shut up.
Nigga,
whatever.
Shut up, man. Whatever. You ain't in no movie.
Especially in the 80s, man, in LA. Come
it's
on.
a movie with Ice Cube. Man.
Right.
Why are you lying, bro? Stop lying.
You always telling these stories.
Oh, you know what I mean? So
Trying to
for
pretend like he
real,
acted.
like that's what it was, man.
Yeah.
And I just remember I remember the first day of set, and it was literally I had never seen, because I did extra work prior. I had never seen so many black people behind the scenes.
Wow.
I'm talking about from the drivers, the grips, the cameraman. Shout out to Charles Mills.
Hey, wow.
The DP.
Yeah.
Good memory.
You know what I'm saying? He was married to Marla Gibbs.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Marla Gibbs.
For real.
Got a chance to meet her
Legend.
at Martin Lawrence's the reunion, the 30 year.
Yeah.
Yo, she was there. I took a picture with her, and I was
legendary.
It was like you touching royalty. You touch her hand, man.
100%.
Yeah. She had an acting class. That was her and her daughter Angela Gibbs. That was my first acting.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Debut.
And women male was my acting teacher. Isn't
Are
that
you
something?
serious?
Yeah.
Dude,
It's
you
crazy.
are
Yeah.
you are
He did a documentary on
you're
Kareem.
an LA legend, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
He don't
Thank
even
you,
know.
bro.
He did a documentary on you, bro.
Like I said, man, it's just a blessing, just my journey. But I just remember specifically seeing so many Black people behind the scenes like
Yeah.
I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And here it is, we're at this house. You know, the craft service was actually in the back of that house.
Hilarious.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And then of course it moved from house to house. And, you know, seeing a young Angela Bassett, you know, a side note, you know women that have them that thing
Oh yeah, they got
and they wear them slacks.
Ooh,
Yeah.
woo.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Angela had on. I remember
Yeah.
them
Nah,
slacks that
wow.
she had on. No disrespect.
None.
No.
But I was just like, as a kid, I was just like,
Courtney
Right.
B. Vance know we be looking.
Right, right. Right.
You know what I mean? It was just like, wow, she just looked amazing, man. And then, you know, Lawrence Fishburne, a
Yeah.
young Lawrence Fishburne,
Mhm.
and actually watching that scene of
Yeah.
her driving young Trey
Mhm.
and dropping him off and seeing that interaction.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember it like it was yesterday,
Yeah.
man.
Mhm.
I'll tell you
And
something, that actor was on the road too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Young Trey.
Yeah,
Young
He was
Trey.
in Harlem Nights.
Yeah,
He was in
yeah.
House
Desi.
Party.
Big shout out to Desi.
Yeah, that boy was cooking.
He's I don't know if he's doing any more film. I know he did something maybe some years back, but yeah, man, those were just like amazing memories. And I was just an extra on that movie.
Man.
Wow.
I was one of the kids riding a bicycle, skateboarding
Mhm.
in the background. And I think we're about 2 weeks into shooting, and it's lunchtime, and we're just throwing the ball around. And John is playing catch with us and
Yeah.
asking us questions. And
It's amazing.
he just comes to me and was just like, yo, man, what's your name? Where you from? He was like, I'm gonna give you some lines. You cool with that?
Wow.
And like he could have gave
Yeah.
Anybody.
Right.
any line to any kid.
Yeah.
Right.
And he chose me. And from that point on, man, it was just like
Right.
within an instant, it was just like no more being an extra. Now I'm in SAG.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now
You got
I
your
gotta-
card from that?
Yeah, I got my card.
Oh
from
my
that.
Yeah.
goodness.
And
John
back
Singleton is the
then-
reason you are in SAG.
SAG was $700.
Oh, I don't know.
And back then, that was a lot of money
That's
in
like
'89.
$7,000.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But John Singleton is the reason why I got my SAG
Come on.
card.
Let me
Mhm.
get you with this. Speaking of throwing the ball,
Mm-hmm.
there was a scene in this movie.
I know what you about to say.
Young Ricky's throwing the ball,
Mhm.
and Darren said to him, "Hey man,
Yeah.
don't bring that
bring
ball."
the ball. Right.
100%.
Yeah.
They walked past these thugs,
Yeah.
Yep.
and this thug dude was like, "Man, I got money. I can buy 100
100
balls."
balls.
Yeah,
Right,
Chris,
right,
give me
right.
the ball.
Give me the ball.
Devontae Sweet.
I hate him. This movie made me
Devontae Sweet.
hate
Yeah.
him. So he throws him the ball, and he's like, "Thanks," and they walk away. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
thanks,
"You
cuz."
just said
Right.
you weren't gonna take it."
Right.
That's not even a problem. We all saw it coming.
Mhm.
The other thug, who's like a good thug,
Mhm.
says, "Hey man, give him back the ball."
Yeah.
He doesn't give him back the ball.
He
Right.
does not.
And then, Derek comes back,
Mhm.
"Give me the ball." He starts beating him up,
Yep.
Mhm.
and then they walk away, and then they lock eyes with the good thug
Mhm,
again,
mhm.
and he was like, "Man, give me the ball.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
give me the ball." And then he gives it back. My problem is the continuity. If I'm saying give this boy the ball,
Yeah.
give him the ball right then.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, we're not about to keep throwing it after I said give him the ball.
Well, yeah.
I should have had to lock eyes with this little boy from across
Right.
the field for him to get his ball back.
Right. Down the alley.
Man,
Yeah.
But when you look at it though, Vontae Sweet was a YN.
he was.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
a
100%.
YN.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that
Where
is
we at?
that is the truest
Yeah.
dynamic of
Facts.
a YN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's an OG saying do that,
Yeah.
they gonna give some pushback until the
Yeah.
OG man had to come over there like, listen, man,
Right.
Yeah.
give him the ball.
These are
Right.
facts.
Get my brother's ball back.
Exactly.
Get my
You know
brother.
what I mean? Like to be honest, that has happened to me
100%.
living in South Central several times where
Exactly.
I got to get a older dude be like, man, give him a ball, and then there's
Yeah.
there's a conflict
Yeah.
that happens,
Mhm.
Right.
but I end up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that
As
was
friends,
crazy.
his friends didn't stand up enough for him in that
Nah.
moment.
Yeah.
This is why though Boys in the Hood hit so hard and why it's
Yeah.
a classic because it's just so authentic.
Yeah.
And
So authentic.
if you grew up
Yes.
in South Central LA, you're like I can't tell you how many times not only the idea of some dude taking your basketball, your
Mhm.
football, whatever,
Your bike.
but the idea of your friend saying, "Don't bring it."
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Don't bring that
I've
ball.
been in those
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah,
and it's like,
absolutely.
man, it's not even about we don't want your joint to be taken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
It's about we don't need the trouble, man.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, you know what's about to
Absolutely.
happen. Why are you doing
Absolutely.
this?
You know what's
Speaking
Yeah.
of why
Yeah.
are you doing this to us, I'm not seeing enough super chats
Oh,
in
boy.
the comment section, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Did
it
y'all
is.
think we just
Come on.
wanted to?
Right.
Keep flooding it.
69
Okay?
of y'all
Flooding
in
it.
Get
And
them
I want
likes
to
up.
thank the
Yeah.
newer people for joining the Patreon. I saw some new members join last week.
Thank you, folks.
so
Appreciate
much.
you.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/CTisDOPE. Go there now and find some new friends because we are all there waiting for you. Now, when I look at this movie, bro,
Mhm.
this movie made me feel because I didn't grow up in the hood. Thank God. I was born in the hood,
Mhm.
and my mom. This is what happened. We were in the hood, bro. So we lived in the hood, and a drive-by happened. A bullet went through the window.
Oh, wow.
My mom got scared. She's like, "Oh, we moving, right?"
Yeah.
While she's looking for a place, someone who was one of our neighbors, 2 doors down, got murdered, right?
Mm.
Wow.
Once this happened, their life was taken. The next day, we moved to the suburbs, right? Thankfully. So
Mhm.
we moved to the suburbs. And then while I was in the suburbs, every weekend I would go visit my cousin John.
Back in
And
the
my
hood.
cousin John lived in the hood.
Mhm.
So I saw a lot of this.
Mhm.
But I knew, I was like, I'm not bringing anything
right
that I can get
You
taken.
take it, yeah.
Because I did not have hands as a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
Right.
And I
Mhm.
did not expect my cousins to fight for me.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And when you see this, that's why I pointed out so quick, like, your friends couldn't be like, yeah, give him his ball back. Nobody said nothing. They was like,
Mhm. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They all scared.
everybody's scared.
Mhm.
So what is your biggest bully moment that happened to you as a kid?
Oh, I went to school.
You see how he knew it immediately?
immediately. I went to Hillcrest. And
Okay.
Hillcrest is in the jungles.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I had a reversible Louis Vuitton and Gucci belt.
Okay.
Sheesh.
And this dude would literally come to me and be like, I need your belt.
Come
I need it.
on.
I need
And
that.
took my belt and I'll be like, man, he'd be like, I'll give it to you at the end of school.
At the end of the school
Not at the end of the school year, the end of the school day.
Oh.
Okay.
And my dumb self kept wearing the belt.
Yeah.
So he would always be like, I need the belt.
Yeah.
So he did give it back.
Yeah, he gave it back.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
But-
wild.
But come on, bro.
Yeah,
But he would
yeah.
take
I
it
need
from
that
you
belt
multiple days?
multiple
Correct.
days.
The thing is, he was wearing outfits prepared for the belt. Like, get there, I'm gonna tuck my shirt in. and the
Yo,
belt.
man.
You're out of control
Dog.
for continuing. After he gave it back the
Crazy,
first time, you should have
crazy.
never wore it again.
Kareem
Yeah,
is
man.
5'3". So the
Yeah.
dude is probably 6'9".
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, dude. But also too, he was definitely affiliated.
Oh,
Mhm.
got it. Now
So
that-
yeah,
that- we didn't have that in
yeah,
Detroit.
yeah,
Right,
in
right.
Detroit,
Yeah, he was-
everybody was crazy.
Nah.
Out here,
Nah,
people wear colors.
he was
Yeah.
he's affiliated.
got it.
He was from the jungles.
Mhm.
So from that point on, it was just
Mhm.
like, yeah.
Let you
yeah.
not have brought the belt. You'd have got beat up. You knew I was going to want the belt.
It's picture
My
day.
belt?
Right. He'd be like, you didn't bring my belt today?
Crazy, man.
That's the epitome of
Crazy.
it's both ours.
Right.
We just
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
it at your
Yeah,
place.
yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, that for sure, that is the one that sticks out.
Man,
Yeah.
the movie continues, and I see. Let me tell you something. When Trey got pulled over by the police,
Yeah.
and he had Ricky in a car with him,
Mm.
so much had happened. I was drained. I was exhausted. I had to pause the movie and go do something else for 20 minutes, and then come back like, all right, because it was so heavy, right?
Right.
Fast forward, unpopular opinion. It's Ricky's fault he got killed. Now, let me just say this. I watched the movie with fresh eyes. Okay? Fresh eyes. I saw it today.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky got bumped by the guys wearing all red.
Mhm.
Hey, man, what's your problem?
I'm just trying to
Big and
figure it
loud.
out.
Right, right.
Then he was like, he got called the N-word. He was like, what's wrong with you? N-word.
Mhm.
And I'm like, you're doing too much, Ricky.
Mhm.
For somebody who's not affiliated and you ain't got no weapons, you're doing too much.
Mhm.
But his brother is there.
I know.
Mhm.
His brother is there, but your
And
brother
he
ain't gonna
know-
always be there. Fast forward, the guys see Doughboy and them on the porch, and they're
Mhm.
ready for some ruckus.
Mhm.
They don't.
Mhm.
Ricky goes to the store, comes back, and as he comes back, he sees them. They see him. His boy says, "Hey, ain't that the guy that disrespected you?"
Right.
They run away.
Mhm.
First of all, for future, if any kids are watching, so let me tell you this right now. If you're being chased by a car and you and your friends say, let's cut through these houses,
Right.
the moment you say, let's cut through the houses and you run, and the car takes off, they're expecting you to end at the other location.
Right.
The smart thing is to not continue running.
Right.
Continue going the way you were going because
Right.
they're not going to be there
Double
anymore.
back.
Right.
Anyway, they take out, so the gun comes out, a shotgun, which is crazy.
Mhm.
Shout out to his accuracy.
You
I'm
skipped
gonna
over
give
the
him
part that he was still playing lottery tickets.
Yeah. And he had
won.
a ding dong with milk.
that. He won.
Yeah.
He won
Like,
the lottery
why?
thing.
Why are you so?
He drinking milk in the hot sun. That's
Right.
crazy. Your stomach is in
That's
turmoil,
terrible.
bro. What are you doing? But this goes back to Ricky being stupid.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you see somebody about to kill you, was like, let me run. Let me get back to this little lottery
No,
ticket.
not even that. Let me pee.
Right.
He
Yeah.
had time to get
Right.
away.
For your
You
life.
say, I gotta take a whiz.
Come on, man.
This happens all the time. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah, sure.
Then, as he's getting aimed at, he takes off running, doesn't go left or right or zigzag.
Right.
He
Mhm.
goes straight, gets hit in the leg. As soon as he got hit in the leg, that hurt me worse than him getting killed. Because I was like, man, that scholarship is gone.
Gone.
That's the first thing I thought.
Gone.
Yeah.
Then he gets, it
Mhm.
goes, and I was like, oh, well, it's a wrap. The good thing is, Ice Cube avenges his brother.
Mhm.
The mother is still like, nah, you did this.
Mhm.
And in actuality, this particular situation, Ice Cube had nothing to do with
It's
it.
true.
It was Ricky's fault.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying get bumped like a punk,
Right.
but I am saying, let me pick my battles right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am with my brother, but I'm not going to always be with my brother. These dudes obviously want a situation. Let me be the cooler head because my brother's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be the peacekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, Cuba Gooding Jr. gets the skins with Nia Long because she felt bad for him. She gave him some pity cookie.
Right.
And he finally, I don't even know if I saw the condom. So he actually did still go raw.
I think so.
I think so.
Well, neither did get
Or you
pregnant.
leave it up to imagination.
Or did she?
They love it. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah.
So now, fast forward to the part that I did see when Ice Cube buries Ricky, and then he walks away, and it's revealed that he gets taken out 2 weeks later.
Mhm.
That hurt
Yeah.
because I was like, oh man, but this
Yeah.
is just another day living in the hood.
But
Right.
I'll rewind.
Yeah.
and challenge you on that. It
Okay.
being Ricky's fault. A little bit does fall, but remember, I think we've all been in these situations to where even in school or whatever, and there's a fight that's about to happen, and you know your boys are behind you, your chest tends to puff up a little bit more
Yeah.
because
Okay.
you know
Mm-hmm.
you got your people in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that element. And then remember too, Doughboy flashed the dude and was like,
He did.
do we got a problem here?
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Is there a problem here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the threat.
That was the threat.
Mhm.
You know what
Oh,
I mean?
you're right.
I don't think it
Mhm.
was the bump could have
You're
been
right.
passed
Mhm.
if it was, if he raised up his,
Right.
shirt and said, do we have a problem here?
Right.
Yeah.
I think Ricky probably would still be alive.
Right.
You know what?
It
That's
was-
a
That might be
point.
true.
It was the bump, not only that, but it was the
Brandishing of the
the
weapon.
brandishing of the weapon, which made them
Go to it, Mark.
pop out with
And
the
show 'em.
Uzi
Sure.
and show.
Hey,
Exactly.
fam, $10. Woo! My God.
Hey.
I'm gonna
Thank
throw
you.
a little
Hey,
bit
fam.
more on it. I don't
Yeah.
want us looking broke in front of company.
Yeah.
Much love to you, family. Thank you for holding me down,
Yeah,
my guy.
that's what's up.
Keep the
That's
super
what's
chats coming, folks.
Please keep 'em coming. You know, we got
yeah.
Lawrence is spending hundreds of dollars on these.
Yeah.
And this studio time ain't cheap, boy. So now, in the
Yeah.
meantime, the movie, I want to thank you
Mhm.
for picking this movie because I never would have watched it otherwise.
Wow.
Wow.
And it felt, man, I was really sad after watching this movie.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things like, it makes you empathize with the struggle what a
Mhm.
lot of people go through because Lawrence Fishburne owned a business.
Mhm.
He was obviously doing better financially as the years
Mhm.
went on.
Mhm.
However, he still never left the hood because he loved being around black
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
And I say, you're a fool, Lawrence Fishburne.
What?
For building in the
You're a
community.
I'm not staying in the
Wow.
hood, bro.
What?
Notice that I
Hey.
said when I was a little kid, I went to go visit my
Visit,
cousins.
yeah,
At a
yeah.
certain age, I was like,
Don't need to
y'all
be
should
here.
come visit me. You know what I'm
You
talking
would be
about?
out there hanging out with Angela Bassett.
Hey.
I
And
know.
Angela Bassett started doing way better. She had
Yeah.
her
Oh, yeah.
master. She had
Yeah.
like she was living in a high rise.
She lived
Yeah.
she lived in Baldwin Hills.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, that looked good.
Yeah.
That came out tricking off on some.
Yeah.
I'll pay for the little coffee. Get whatever you
Oh,
want. I was
yeah.
like, oh, you speaking real tough with somebody who ain't had a son in 7 years. But the movie was great. Thank you for picking it.
Yeah.
Dion Lack, what's coming up for you? How can we find you?
So
those of you guys who are watching, we are about to go to the after show and continue this conversation.
Yeah.
So right now, if you are watching this, it's about to end unless you go to the patreon.com/CTisDOPE where we have that conversation. Mayor Young, what's coming up for you, man? How can they find you?
At Mayor Young on all social media, or come hang out with us. Fantastic forum, talk comic books, geek out with us. Wednesday nights, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. We're live. Come check us out.
I love it. Deion Lack, take 2. What's coming up for you? How can they find you? Talk about come on, man. I gotta get out of here. Where they can
Find me at Dion Lack, DIONLACK. I have a Zodiac show every month. Come to LT Studios July 20th for the cancer season.
I love that.
Yep.
Nice.
Kareem Grimes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. What's coming up for you? How can they find you?
Listen, we have season 8
Yes, congrats.
for All
Nice.
American. Season 2 for the Vince Staples show.
Ooh.
Nice.
Hey,
So,
when is it
yeah.
airing?
Yeah, I'm waiting too.
When is it airing?
yeah, I'm excited,
Vince
man.
Staples show on Netflix.
Yeah,
All American is on
yeah,
CW
yeah.
and on Netflix.
And on Netflix, yeah. So those things are going on right now, and you can
Ooh.
watch Grey's Anatomy. I was on Grey's Anatomy, so you can double back and watch that on. I think
We got
Hulu.
some conversation because I want to talk to you now about All American,
Mhm,
and we about to
mhm.
do that on the after show.
Yeah, for
Hey.
sure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Come to the
thank you
after
guys
show.
so much for watching another episode of CT Cinema Retro Reviews. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. And I got a surprise for you guys. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. If you are watching the premiere episode, thank you for the super thanks. And I will thank you on camera. As always, it's Team CT all day.
Hey.